think maybe.
What's that?
Hello.
I think I've got it. Maybe.
Hi, Patty.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Sue?
Good.
Good. I just ran out to water my garden, so I'm all
And I was doing that last night after it got dark. I'm like, I haven't watered in like 3 days. I better
I,
go.
I know all my plants are like, I'm like, oh my gosh, we haven't had any rain. I should get out there and water. Apparently they do better when they have a little water to drink.
What?
Yeah,
No.
just like us.
It doesn't help
Yeah.
that the heat index has been like really high, probably where you are too, relatively speaking.
It actually hasn't been too bad here.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh, we've actually had some really nice weather. I've had my air off for a couple days, but it's going to get hot again.
Yeah.
It's going to be up like close to 90, I think, by Sunday, I think. So
Ugh.
we
Yeah.
actually have had a really nice little stint of some nice weather. So pretty happy
Yeah.
about it.
Good.
You get some more boxes unpacked, Emily?
I got 3 or 4 done yesterday, but
That's-
today after this, I have time to get stuff done, and then this weekend, that's pretty much what we're focused on. So slowly but surely, we'll be getting there.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll
Let me
bake.
see a bookcase in the back there. Is that a bookcase?
Yeah, I added that yesterday, actually. I added that after the day you and I were talking. Because I had like 1 hour to unpack some stuff. I was like, books, I can't unpack. Oh, yes, I have something I could use. So, hey, Jessica on
Well,
Facebook.
I had
Oh, go ahead.
sorry about yesterday. I went down to make my coffee in the morning and I went to open the back door and the handle fell off in my hand.
Oh no.
Yet another. So I was at Home Depot yesterday buying another handle, which I'm going to try to install today. So we'll see how that goes.
Were you like, seriously? Like, just
Exactly. That's what I said. I went to pull the door because it sticks. It's kind of it's tight when we have a little humidity. So it's been a challenge. So I went to turn it and pull it, and the thing came off in my hand, and I was like, really? And I just put it down. I picked up my coffee. I went out the front door and walked around. I didn't even miss a beat. I was like, I'm not even going to sweat it. I don't care. I'm just going to go sit outside. I'll figure it out. Not going to worry about it.
Oh, exactly. I know. It's just like you can't even make this stuff up sometimes.
I added it to my list back there though, because I'm like, okay, we're going to add this to the list too, because I have a whole list too of things that are wrong with my house.
Yeah.
And I hadn't read your book. I actually have it sitting in the wings because I have so much going on with my house. It's just been insane. So hopefully as we wind into fall, when it's nice and cozy and you can have a cup of coffee and sit, I plan on reading it at that point.
That's what I'm telling lots of people. Summer's a hard time for reading, and all these things have to get done before winter happens. All our home repairs, and there's so much to do. Me too. It's like
Really, you're dealing with it too? Well, I
every
don't
day
feel
is
so
endless,
bad. I don't feel so bad now.
No,
Good
there's
company, I
always,
guess, right?
Yeah, the joys of maintaining a house, amazing.
yeah. It's hard to believe how many little things there are that happen.
And the timing of like when you're
Yeah.
even just like my old house, I had issues every now and then, but when I'm trying to sell it, then more little things pop up. You're like, seriously, just a few months,
Oh yeah.
sold out. But
I
Jessica,
know
Did they
in
find a water leak? Oops.
oh yeah, so many hundreds of dollars later, they did find the water leak. It's like if the original people had just dug like a little bit deeper, it was right there. So yeah.
I'm glad you found it. That's
Yes,
good.
I was
Yeah.
worried, like, how are we even gonna find this? But yeah, we did. So all that's fixed and back, and
Yay.
everything's perfect there. So Jessica's asking me where the new house is. So I actually moved into town, into Greenwood. I lived about 15 minutes outside of it there. But I was driving back and forth like a couple times every single day with the kids. And it was always like, do I go pick them up from school? Do I wait till they ride the bus? And then I take them back into town for whatever activity they had. And when do we eat dinner before or after their event or whatever? So now I'm like 6 minutes away from school and their bus, I used to have to drive like maybe almost a mile down to the bus to drop them off and pick them up every day because I
Oh,
would have to
wow.
drive down to the highway. Well, now the bus comes right to the driveway, so that's nice.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Well,
My
that
biggest
can make life
challenge,
so much.
yeah, my biggest challenge really is first world problems where we downsized by 1,500 square feet. And we went from having like a
Oh, wow.
huge shop with 3 bays to having like a regular, it's like 2.5 car garage. So we're just like, there's so much stuff in our garage. I'm like, I don't even know where we're gonna put some of this stuff. So a little house that I do on Airbnb, it has like a really small shop. So I was like, I gotta clean that thing out and see if my, snowmen and reindeer can go in there and we'll just pull them out at Christmas. So that's
That
and
sounds like a good plan.
yeah. So it's like a mix of that and then going from having a lot of storage space and bookcases to like this is my bookcase now. So I'm like I'm not even unpacking all these books because I have nowhere to put them yet. So, but I don't know exactly, there's a couple different walls I could sit on and where I could put a lot of stuff. So it's not like there's nowhere to put it really. It's just figuring it out and being like, I got to get the kitchen ready before I get my office, all lined up. So it's all good.
Yeah, it'll
Uh,
happen. You'll get it.
yeah. Well, great. Okay, so the kids right now, my oldest is 22, so he's in college, and then I have ninth grade, 10th grade. No, yeah, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, are my other three. So they're all like officially in high school now. I picked them up from one location instead of two locations. So
That's nice. That helps.
yes, yes. So yeah, I don't know how that worked out, even though they're like all 2 years apart. But yeah, it's their ninth, 10th, and 11th. So, and Anthony's
Oh,
been learning to
birthdays.
drive, so
Ooh, that's nice.
Wow, that's wonderful.
it'll be nice when, I'm not worried about it and he's just driving on, on his own right now. It's like, watch out, get back in your lane. So. Okay, well, today, I mean, really today was just any questions that people had about the mastermind that is kicking off on Monday. And of course, we could talk about any other topics that people have. I think Sue and Patty, you guys are automatically wrapped into the mastermind. So I'm hopeful that I will get to see you on Monday. And I have figured out, guys, like I downloaded the Kajabi Communities app, and it is so much better than the regular Kajabi app. It's
Yeah.
almost like a little mini Facebook, I guess, in its own way. So Monday, I'm going to do just like an orientation of how to use the app, and we're going to use the challenges. Patty, I played around with the challenges. So we are going to use the challenges for some of the like weekly updates in between. So I'm still gonna use the forms. So we have, Patty says, yay. I'm still gonna use a form. So we have like a numerical tracking of things that are intangible, right? Like confidence and feeling a sense of routine and calm. So we'll still track that as a way to give a number to something that's hard to put a number on. But for our challenges, I will be having people post like one update, whether it's a win, it's a picture of a water leak because a water leak sprang at your house, whatever it is.
Or a doorknob.
Yeah. This is what's going on for my week. But then other people can comment and other people can heart it or, you know, whatever. You just get kind of that sense of community and feedback from other people that are walking this totally crazy journey. So I'm excited about that. Jessica says, that's nice. They're all in the same school. My kids are both in middle school. So yes, that is really nice. And hi, Ron, how are you? That is really good. So some of the questions that people have sent me or that have come up about joining the mastermind, if you're watching this replay or you're watching this live somewhere else and you're thinking about joining, first of all, Sue and Patty are going to be in the community. Now, I'm not waving them out there like on every call, but they're pretty amazing widows. They're going to be in there. And if you haven't met them yet, you totally should. Because they're going to be there in the community to be able to help support you and interact. And so some questions I had, what do I do if I can't come on every call? I'm really busy, during the week, and that's a challenge. And that's totally fine. I am a replay binger. So a lot of times I have one mastermind. I try to go to all the live calls just because I really want the help and direct feedback and support. But most of the time I just listen to the replay. I used to put just the video on in the car and just listen to it. But I learned how to do a private podcast, which is what we're going to be doing as part of the mastermind. So our replay calls, you can just use your podcast app, just like you would any other podcast, and you can listen instead of having to like have the video and putting it in your car or putting it somewhere else and hoping you don't hit the wrong button and it goes away and then it restarts and all that. So I am excited we'll be able to do that. So you can listen, you can watch, and then of course we'll have like the challenges, and there's a feed in the communities, kind of like a Facebook feed where you can post, you can ask for feedback, you can share, what's going on. What about payment plan? Okay, so for payment plans, well, two questions here. Is there a payment plan option? Can I use two separate credit cards? So yes, I actually just went in and set up a payment plan option on the website. So bravewidow.com/mastermind. There's a payment plan option there. If you want to use two separate cards, just email me, Emily@bravewidow.com. I can set you up on two separate cards. That's no problem. And make it as easy as possible. And if you go on if you've ever used Afterpay, I haven't, but Afterpay does provide you like a monthly payment option. I think they'll extend it out to 12 months, but it does have an interest. I think it's like 7% interest or something like that. So if the 6-month payment plan isn't an option, you want to extend it longer with Afterpay, like you just go to the pay in full option. You should see the Afterpay option. It's a separate company that processes all that, but it gives you a longer amount of time. It just has a different interest rate on there. When will the mastermind be finished, or how long will it last, I guess, is the question there. So we start Monday, August 26th, and we will go through the end of February. And if there are a couple of weeks I'm going to be traveling or having other engagements, but I am going to be lining up guest hosts and facilitators. So we should pretty much be able to stay on track. I know we have Labor Day that's coming up on a Monday, which is a holiday. So we will just do that on like Tuesday or another day that week instead of Monday, but we won't skip the whole week. All right, another question. How can I make sure I get individualized coaching in a group? Well, for everyone that's part of the mastermind, if you're not already one-on-one client with me, then I'll do a intro one-on-one call. We'll make sure that we set your specific goals, and I'll give you some suggestions for where I would start, where I would really focus in on for your next step. We also, with our Google form tracking, will be able to keep an eye on, how you're feeling each week, what's going on. If you've missed a couple weeks and haven't filled out the tracking, you haven't posted in the group, that's kind of a flag for me to know I need to jump in and check on you and make sure that you are okay. I know for me, I go quiet when I get overwhelmed. I kind of start just like shutting down. So I know that you may be like that too. And I'll reach out. And each week we'll have time for direct coaching or feedback. And this could be coaching about grief. It could be coaching about the particular topic we're going to be covering that week. It could be, hey, Emily, I want to start my own podcast. Where do I start? Like whatever you want coaching on, I'll be there available for that. And my goal is to allow at least an hour for that direct coaching and feedback. And anytime you post like in the community or you post in the Facebook group, if we set that up, then you have not only me jumping in there to answer, respond, or give feedback, but you have other people that will be able to give you feedback and kind of chime in as well. How can I know if this will work for me? Well, I have lots of thoughts about this question. And here's how I think about it. I actually went through and I listed out every coaching program that I have joined in the last, Flip Lifestyle I've been part of for a really long time. Apart from, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of 6 coaching programs in the last, let's say 2 to 3 years, I've been a part of one for many years. But I went through and tallied up, it's multiple tens of thousands of dollars that I've invested in the last few years of coaching for myself. And how I would answer this question is that it will work for you and you will get out of it what you put into it. So for any of these programs I've signed up for, the lowest was $600. The highest was $20,000 in what I've invested. And I got something in every one that I've signed up for. I got way more value than I expected when I actually signed up, because whether I'm investing 600 or 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever it is, I am going to get my value out of that program. Like I'm the person who's going to show up, who's making sure that whatever my goal was to achieve out of that program, to, whether it's learning a new skill, whether it's growing my business, whether it's, working with my coach on my speech and presentation for October, like whatever that is, I always end up feeling like, wow, I got way more value than what I actually paid to participate in this program. But for each of those programs, I could have chosen not to participate. I could have chosen not to come to the calls. I could which sometimes my speech coach gives me a lot of homework, guys. And there are some weeks I'm like, I just can't do it this week. Let's just reschedule. Let's do something. Like, I just don't have the mental bandwidth for everything you're asking me to do. But if I were to do that consistently, then that's on me. It's not a reflection of her not showing up, of her not, equally in energy investing back in me. It's my decision on how I show up and how I decide to take action versus not. I have coached a couple clients before that either reschedule or cancel a lot, or, every time we meet, it's like, oh, well, no, I haven't done this. I haven't done that. No, I'm just, it just seems like we're just kind of swirling. So I tend not to continue to coach those people, or they end up self-electing not to keep showing up. Just because I want the time that we spend together to be valuable for you as someone that's coming, and for me as a coach, to feel that I'm able to help you and move you forward. So to answer that question, there's a lots of thoughts there. How can I know this will work for me? If you show up and you participate, I don't mean show up live to every call, but I mean, be engaged, be present, be participating in what we're doing, then you are going to learn something every single week. I promise you, you're going to be learning something. You're going to get something, even if you're the person that doesn't like raising their hand, doesn't like putting your vulnerabilities out there. Just hearing from other people, hearing their experiences is really, really helpful. So like some of the replays of the calls I listen to, people are asking the same questions that I have, or people have similar problems or challenges that I have. So even though I'm not on there asking a question, I still get a lot of value in listening to what other people say. It's also for me, one of the reasons, like I listen a lot to Dr. John Deloney's podcast. You guys have heard me talk about that. People call in with all kinds of counseling problems, all kinds of relationship, communication issues, personal things that they're going through. So even though I may never experience some of those things in my life, just hearing how they talk about it, hearing how they might navigate it, I'm always looking for, what could I apply to my life? What could I apply to the relationships that I have, or the boundaries that I need to set, or the communication that I need to have? Hi, Brad. Nice to see you. How could I apply that to my life? So just by hearing a lot of the conversations that are happening, by getting some of the amazing advice and insight from someone who's counseled and gone through that a long time, I still show up and think about, how can I get value out of this? How can I apply it to my life? All right, Patty says, my thought, I want to be around other widows who know the road I'm traveling, and they can hold space for me and can inspire and lift me up. Also having a guide to implement new ways to think to help to find a new life. That's why I chose to be with Emily in her program. Oh, thank you, Patty. And I think you and Sue and several others are just such a great example of people who you come to learn, you come to engage with other people, you come to be heard and to be connected, and also to connect with other people. So it's not always about, well, what can I get? I'm going to sit back and see what I can get out of this, but you try to take an active approach and thinking about how you can apply it in your life and how you can help other people that are on a similar journey as you. All right, so those really are the base questions that I've received about the mastermind. I know the term might be a little weird for some people that are like, what's a mastermind? I don't know anything about that. So I'm happy to explain what we'll be doing, but essentially we're coming together as a group to focus on a similar vision and purpose, and help hold each other, like help support each other on this journey, but also walk away with things that we can tangibly say have improved or changed, or we've made a difference in our lives. I really wanted to take that sense of community and connection and help propel other widows forward, so that it's not, when I tell people I have widow meetings, they're like, oh, do you guys just sit around and cry? Isn't that like super depressing? You just have a bunch of widows there. I'm like, well,
Got
you
it.
know, yeah, sometimes we cry, but a lot of times we laugh, and a lot of times, we just, Patty, it's like you talking about your, door handle like coming off the other day or not working or whatever. It's like, you can't make some of this stuff up. Like, you have to have other people to just go through this journey with, and to get this sense of traction and moving forward, because I don't want to just sit around and reflect on my grief and just be sad and be mopey, like, oh, this is my life now, it's just going to be terrible for forever. Like, there's a time for that. There's a time, the Bible says, for mourning and for healing and all of that. And there's a time where we say, even if we can't see how it's possible, it is possible to have a life that we love, and to be excited about things again, and to be full of joy and peace. And that's what we want to move towards, is self-improvement and growth, and really creating a beautiful future that we can look back on and be like, wow, I never would have thought years ago that I would be able to be in this spot. Okay, question. Will you be sending an email with info or work ahead for the first meeting? Yes and no. So I am going to send an email out. I'm going to actually go ahead and grant you guys access to There's a specific subset in the community for the mastermind. So I'm going to send you a little bit of information and what the name of the app is to download, the Kajabi Communities app. But I don't want to give you a lot of homework or instruction until we meet on Monday, because I don't want it to feel frustrating, overwhelming. You don't know where to click, you don't know where to go. So I really want that to be, I want to give you white glove service and walk you through that on Monday as much as possible. But I will send you info on the app and links to our Zoom call so you have access to all that. All right. Sue says working together as a group and collaboration always helps to see new perspectives and new ideas, and allows for a place just to be us and see what else is possible and to have fun together too. Yes. I mean, guys, I brag on Sue all the time, but I'll just say it one more time. Last year, I was living vicariously through Sue because she was writing a book for the first time. And I'm like, tell me everything. Like, tell me, how do you do this? Like, you write an outline. Like, I've always wanted to write a book. I always thought it would be like fiction, like fantasy fiction, but I've always been very interested in writing a book. So I try to live vicariously through Sue's journey of all of that. And she published her first book. It's been 3 months now, 3 months ago.
That
Then,
was in May.
yeah, almost to the day. Was it the 23rd? It officially went live. Yeah, so happy 90 days to Sue's first officially published book. She then worked on a group project to publish a second book, and now she is working on her third book. So a year ago, holy moly, like, her thought of publishing a book was like a dream and a goal that she was working on. And now here, a year later, like, she's working on her third one. So that is amazing.
And you have been my biggest cheerleader.
Thank you. I love it. I just love it. All right, Brad says, thank you for what you do. I came across you only a few months ago. Brad, you are so welcome. And I hope you think about joining us in the mastermind that starts on Monday, because not just me, but we have some really incredible, amazing widows that are part of this journey that have a lot of insight and encouragement to share. All right. Any other questions about the mastermind? Anything you want to know? I am going to do my best, and I know I've got some vocal people that will share feedback. I'm going to do my absolute best to just boil everything down as simply as possible as we go through each of the different topics each week. And but this is my first time doing it. So as we go through it, your feedback will be super important. Like, oh, that was super easy. Like, you made it too simple, or whoa, that was like a lot in 1 hour. You need to slow down. Because one of the challenges that we have, as whether you've been a teacher, a trainer, a coach, a facilitator, whether you're trying to explain something that you know really well to someone else, like, we have this innate desire to just brain dump everything, right? Like, I always feel like on webinars, not always, a lot of times when I do webinars, it's like, I just want to teach you everything I've learned these past 3 years about grief. Like, I want to make sure it's like pumped, just like to the brim with value and next steps and things that you can do right now. And a lot of that, I think, is just innate in our desire to take what we know and help other people. But sometimes, for when you're learning something new or something different, or you're trying to process it, it can feel super overwhelming. So I get coached a lot in that I coach people too much. Sometimes, whether it's through email or through some of the live events, like, you're just teaching too much. You need to like constrain more, because even though it might feel to you very simplistic, or that you're not putting as much content in as you want, for other people, it might come across just really overwhelming, that you've dumped all this information on them and they feel like they don't know what to do to implement. So my goal with the mastermind is to take each topic and each of the core pillars. to like boil it down, to break it down into simplistic chunks, and then give you something each week that you can walk away saying, okay, maybe I could implement this. This is something I could do differently. This is something I could try. Just to make it feel manageable and to give you a good foundation that we can start to build on with more, complex concepts or things like that. So as always, I want your feedback on that. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope to see you on Monday. I'm super excited. And oh my gosh, I got some of my Brave Widow swag in, but I left it over there. So I'm sending these out to people in the mastermind and to my coaching clients, but I got this. This is a wireless charger, like for your phone, that you could just lay your phone or whatever on there. So I just have that on my desk. And I got, well, I'm not going to tell you what all I got. It's just going to be a surprise. So y'all just watch your mailboxes over the next week or two, and you're going to have a box of Brave Widow swag and goodies. So I will leave you with that little happy note on this Friday morning.
All right, thank you. You just recharged us with that charger, see?
Perfect. Yes.
Just hold it up for every meeting and you'll recharge us.
Yeah, put your fingers on the charger. We're gonna get recharged. Yes.
And
All
that's
right.
exactly what Big Widow does. You recharge us all the time. Thank you.
Good. You guys recharge me, so it's very mutual for sure. It's very super rewarding. So you guys have a beautiful weekend. I'm here if you need me, and I hope to see you on Monday.
Thank you, Emily. See you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.